right, Nnamdi. So we have all been enjoying the versus battles provided to us by Mr. Timbaland and Swiss Beats.
Hmm.
Now, there was a little drama because at the release or potential premiere of the Music Soul versus Anthony Hamilton
Mm.
versus, there was talk of charging a subscription fee and restricting viewership only to, I guess, Triller. Is that the name of it?
Okay, the Triller app.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted to make it exclusive to Triller, and you had to pay a subscription fee to um, view the versus battle. And I think that was a model that they are planning on or were planning on uh, using going forward. So my question to you is Versus, do you believe Versus is going to start charging and having a paywall, where the only way you can see the Versus is if you subscribe or, pay a subscription fee to a certain, platform? Do you see it going that way, or do you think that it should be free?
So I remember watching the versus Stephen Grant Hill and some other he's got a guy called Steve. So they have the two Steves, and every time there's a versus, they have the recap. And Tim
Right.
Swiss was on, and they were talking about the Shaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills and how the versus team have this multi-angle camera angle, which if you watch on Thriller Live, it's the sound is great, the pictures are perfect. You're able to have the multi-camera actions, but they were having issues with IG. IG was freezing, blocking. The sound wasn't great, and it was affecting some of the viewing experiences. And so Swiss was saying, look, we started with IG, but they've had to. IG hasn't caught up. The Teddy and
Right.
Babyface stuff was, people couldn't access it. IG didn't have a capacity of more than 500,000 people, and it had to change the way it did stuff because they couldn't access it. So a number of those things have affected um, the versus stuff. In fact, I think with I think with the Boy Stocks and Harmony stuff, it was freezing quite a bit, so I had to go watch it live on YouTube. So
Mm,
these are the reasons why Swiss was saying, and with Tim, no, Swiss wanted to take it and just put it on Thriller and say, look, this is it.
right.
We paid for the stuff, better viewing experience. And those who are really invested in it are saying, look, you're paying, I don't know what it is, $7 a month or something like that, but you are getting not just verses, but you're getting other things. But there's so many members. This, but think about it, I would say almost 90% of those who of us who have been with verses from day one watch, love to comment, love to see. Oh, Michelle Obama's is watching. Watches Fat Joe's there or the Vibe magazine and enjoy that interactive experience, which you don't necessarily. You might get in Twitter, you might get in YouTube, but not as intimate as you get in IG. So, do I think if they were to have Mariah Carey versus Mary J. Blige, and they said the only way to access it is to pay to access it, do I think they would get the numbers? Maybe they won't get all the numbers. You may get um, a third of the numbers people paying for it. Diehard Mary fans and diehard Mariah fans paying for it. Um, but I think because it's a business, they're paying the artist, they're investing a lot of money. I think if they're saying they want to produce excellence, it might be something that you test the market to see if they pay behind, if they have to pay for it, how many of us are willing to follow them along the ride? And that's when you decide what to do.
Well, my question is, if you're going to only potentially get one third of the audience, how does that justify the cost? How does that just justify the production? How does that, the reason you're putting on the production, which you've done
Mm.
while it's been free, you put on the production because it's sort of like the Super Bowl. It brings everybody's viewership. And so I think when you start things like that, you should keep that in mind, that you're providing something free, and that's why people are watching it. They're watching it because it's free,
Mm,
because it's a particular, because you have, and then also interest is going to increase or decrease depending on the potential event or the pairing.
mm,
So people that will tune in for, Babyface and Teddy Riley may not tune in for Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia. So you have to take that in consideration. So is the goal to reach as many people as possible, or is it to limit your audience to the people that are willing to pay? And as we see with the way DVD, not DVD, but uh, you know, film sales and music sales are going, people are not willing to pay for things that are one time of, they're not willing to pay. Um, they're going to pirate it. It's going to end up on YouTube anyway. It's going to end up on some site anyway.
yeah.
However, I'm kind of torn.
Mm.
And my whole thing too is, if I'm subscribing to the Triller platform, what am I getting? Like, I don't even know what that is. I have never watched anything on there, but they would have to sell me on something that justifies me paying $7 or whatever their thing is, because I'm already signed up for Netflix, HBO Max, Prime Video,
Disney Plus. So
Paramount
there's so
Plus,
many.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't need another. I don't need another streaming service. I don't need anything else. You have to. I feel like right now the guys have been successful with the product as free. Now on the flip side of that, I do feel like, you know white corporations introduce things like Disney Plus or Netflix for a free trial for 30 days, sometimes even 3 months,
Mm,
whether it be XM Sirius Radio. They introduce things at a free trial period, but they introduce to you that up front, like, hey, we'll let you have this for this amount of time for free, taste our products,
mm,
and then we will, start to charge you, and it's up to you if you want to cancel or not. So that's
yeah.
because I know people will say, well, you know they're just trying to make money, but we were never told that this was going to eventually become that. Now, like I said, on the flip side, I'm torn, because I do believe creators, most especially Black creators, should be able to make money and monetize off of their own intellectual properties and
Yeah.
their things. We create things because we do, look for, I mean, when we Blacks, we're getting more and more uh business savvy. We're getting more into, I'm not gonna say more and more, we've always been, we've had people that have been very um business savvy and had that entrepreneurial spirit since the beginning of time. But I think that there's so much of a push in culture and mainstream for that, and so it's inspiring a lot of people to do things. And so I think that it is important to start to instill in our people that, we do have to support, um, we do have to support each other. We do have to um, support our ventures, and build our own idea, and build our own, foundation for our own business and things like that. So I would be willing to support. However, I would have rather them created their own platform as opposed to partnering up with another, like Triller. I have no interest in Triller. I don't know what it is. I mean,
So
it's
no, what
essentially,
they did with Thriller is that they it
it's
they
Thriller or
it
a Triller.
yeah, Thriller. So it's they it's a merger. So they're one of the largest shareholders of the Thriller. So it's not like they're partner. So it is a streaming service that has an app and stuff. But the one thing that they probably look at is that if they were able to organize a versus each week, so all of a sudden your people are paying. So each week you're getting a 3 hour concert. Which you're paying £7 a month. If you were to go see Patti LaBelle live, would it be less than that? And you're getting all the angles. So think about the culture, New Edition on tour, and you're getting front row, high def cameras. So you're pretty much, you can't make it, but you're the experience in there. You probably get behind the scene access. So if that is stuff that they're looking at, that you're getting the whole thing, then you can start to see why they will start pushing that. And
Yeah.
but as I said, it's not about supporting. I don't think Tim and Spurs will be like, yeah, you need to support us. Well, we've been here. It's because it's a business. It's less. I think it's strange because we would be thinking that okay, we need to support black owned, but it's like look, any kind of business out there. Disney
Right.
started taking all their Mickey Mouse stuff off free from air and put it on Disney Plus. So
Mhm.
you can't watch any Disney products for free anymore. You have to pay to access it and stuff. So, but as I said,
Well,
if they're gonna have a roster of different artists each month and other things added to it, like Disney Plus and stuff, I can imagine people thinking, you know what, it's actually going to be worth the buck. Um, and
well, I do think that the reason a lot of us are supporting it is because it is for us and by us, or at least that's how it's been presented to us. And that's an element that is attractive to us that, our own people have put this together and, we stand the benefit off of it. So I'm supportive in that way. I'm, like I said, we're entrepreneurs ourselves. You have your halftime chat, you have merchandise on your online store and things like that you, like I said, we when we do these things, we do these things because there's the potential to build and grow. And um you know I think that I'm all for that. I mean, I have my own YouTube channel. I'm going to probably start putting stuff up too. I mean, we all have an interest on growing. And so I'm all for that, but I think that we have to be careful because we have created a society where they feel like music should be free, films should be free, and essentially they are, because while we do have the Disney Plus and we do have, the Netflix, we also have the pirated sites that anybody can go and watch it for free.
mm,
And I think that with the verses, when you put your stuff behind a paywall, a paywall, you have to be mindful that what else am I getting in this? Because when I give $7.99 to Disney Plus, I'm getting all of these blockbuster hits that I can watch with my family. I'm getting children's programming. I'm getting all kinds. But there's a bang for your buck there. When you
yeah,
give your $11.99 or whatever it is to Netflix, you have access to hundreds of thousands of films from all over the world,
mm,
blockbusters, etc., and a lot of premium exclusive content. So with Triller, if I'm going to pay, I don't know what the subscription fee is, $7. I'm just saying that.
mm,
But what am I getting other than a concert every week? I mean, that's not really drawing me in. You're gonna have to do more than that, because that's not. To be honest, I've only watched maybe a handful of the versus battles, so
yeah,
that's not really attractive to me. So they have to think a little bit bigger and a little bit smarter. I think while it's free, there's opportunities to do something else because you have such large audience tuning in. There's other things you can do
mm,
to to financially make money off of that. Obviously, the obvious thing is sponsorships, but there's other things you can request of the audience, or different things that you can do
mm,
that you could be using that as, because it's a great promotional tool. And that's really why people pay millions and millions of dollars to get a spot on the Super Bowl for 30 seconds. Like this, I guess it's like the Super Bowl, to get a commercial is like what, $6 million for 30 seconds. So
mm,
it's like insane, but they know that's an opportunity to have the whole world tuning into this event. This is our
mm,
opportunity to promote our product. So anyway,
yeah.
guys, let us know your thoughts on on should verses be free? Should the versus battles be free, guys, or should you have to pay? And we should be supporting each other and encouraging entrepreneurship, especially in the Black community. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, and catch us next time on the next episode of Can We Talk R&B podcast.
All right.
Thanks again for watching, guys.
And before we go, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Yeah, and also remember to turn on the notification so you can know when we have another show. But thanks again.
That too.